Hey guys, and welcome back to another podcast. And today I have a special guest. You know him as a host, a commentator, an analyst, and I don't know what else you are. Recently, a host now on his IG lives as with sports talk with many famous sports players, athletes, etc. This is Nikhil Uttamchandani, a friend of mine, teammate. Um, I don't know what else to call a colleague as well because we work together commentating and doing video. So just want to say special good morning to Nikhil. So a special good morning to you, Nikhil, and thank you for coming on to this podcast. A lot of people know you as an analyst, host now recently for Nick Toff, and recently with your sports talk on Instagram lives. But what do people really what don't people really know about Nikhil Uttamchandani, who was interested in playing cricket from such a young um, age, and even growing up through Wanderers with me as well, and being a DJ even at my graduation. So just tell people about yourself, and we'll get that rolling.
Yeah, well, good morning to you, Christian. Great to be here. Thanks a lot for having me on. I think some of the things that maybe people don't know about me. Well, first let me introduce myself. I am, a sports commentator, as you said, an analyst or an aspiring one. Let me just say that. And I think some things that people may not know about me. You mentioned about the DJing. That's a hobby of mine that I sort of enjoy doing on the side. For some private parties and some friends and stuff. As well as I think many people look at me and would say, "Oh, he's a cricket analyst, he's a cricket commentator." But I think because of my passion and love for sports, I really watch really several sports, variants to sports, basketball, football, American football, volleyball I play. And yes, you mentioned playing cricket as well. I do play a lot of sports. I would put my commentary above my skill in terms of playing, but I love the game and I love learning about the game, and playing cricket helps me learn a lot. So just those small things, I think not everyone may know about me, but I'm sure as time goes on, they'll be able to learn more about me.
Yeah, and you say you put commentary and analyst about different sports in who you are really and truly, but where did this passion really come from? Because there seems to always have been a passion for sports in terms of basketball, because you do play basketball down by the gym as well, and I even played at Harrison College as well.
Yeah,
So
well, I think passion probably came from, just growing up, being around my uncle. I think he used to watch a lot of cricket and stuff because, funny enough, my parents, they don't really have much interest in sports. So it wasn't really from them, but it was more, I think one day I just saw cricket on TV and I watched, I really enjoyed it. And then from having friends who watched other sports, it was able for me to, diversify and watch other sports. And I don't know, I just love the feeling, you get in terms of competitiveness, always like waiting to see what happens next in terms of sports. I think that's something that I really like and enjoy. So that's why I, love all these different sports, and I still continue to get into many different sports.
that's actually really interesting to hear. But you mentioned to me, well, when we were actually working at the recent West Indies and Ireland series, that, and even to the photographer Ken Morbino, that you were going to get a scholarship one, and that you wanted to go overseas to study. So is that still going to be relating to your commentating passion and your end goal, really?
Yeah, actually, I'm looking to go to Ryerson University in Canada, and they're the only school in Canada that has a full sports media program. So I'm looking to, enhance my skills. Basically, what we're doing here is in front of the camera, but I'll learn a bit of what you do, behind the camera as well, because I think that's extremely important. And just, try to grow my craft and grow my skill, so that when the opportunity does come for me, I'll be ready, to take it for anyone, whoever it may be.
That's good. That's even better to hear from you, actually. But I mean, there is all this talk about sports media analysts and whatever, but who you, even if your parents weren't that involved and interested per se in sports and even commentary, I know that they do support you 110%. And um who, in terms of looking up to um role models, and especially some persons like Ganga that you do know, for one name per se, but who else really would have set the bar that you want to get towards in the end?
Well, firstly, let me just say on my parents, yes, they may not be able to, help me in terms of sport, but I think, the role that they've played in terms of, even something as small as, transporting me before I had my license to and from cricket matches and, to jobs and stuff like that. I think they played a huge role. Even today, my mom always encouraging me, my mom and dad always telling me, if a video is good, if they like it, what they like, what they don't like about it. So it's really great to have that sort of support. In terms of the industry now, yes, you mentioned Darren Ganga. I'm really privileged, to have someone like him, in my corner, backing me. And then I haven't had a chance to communicate with him yet, but one of the major, people that I look up to in the industry is a guy named Harsha Bogle, because he's one of the only few commentators who haven't actually played international cricket, and to see the, level he's reached in terms of, his career and all the things he's been able to achieve, and he has his own blog at Cricket Buzz and stuff. It's people like that I always, look to. Another guy who's really helped me come up, who's actually local, is Joel Manning. He does his Instagram stuff, and he does a lot of marketing work and stuff, but he's been a huge mentor, to me. And Christian, Susan Bell as well. She's also been a really good mentor, teaching me more about not only the industry itself, but she's very experienced in cricket as a whole. So she, teaches me the ins and outs of cricket, and I don't know where it would be really without her. So I have to thank all those people. And, guys like Tony Cozier, really watching old videos, Michael Holding, the real legends of commentary, is people that I really look up to. And then in other sports, Stephen A. Smith, on the ESPN analyst. I love, how aggressive he can be, and he puts his full personality into it, and I think that's the key. You have to give it your 100%. So guys like that I really look up to, and would aspire to be a fraction of what they've achieved one day.
Yeah, that's actually really, really inspiring for some other person, because I do believe that you have kind of set the bar for some other persons that are around your age and maybe younger now, that are going to come up, because now they're going to really look towards you and see what you have really and truly accomplished, and maybe might want to even get into it, because there's some persons that may have played cricket like yourself and may not have the will or the drive. There's some persons that would have gone on to do some stuff like Johnny Cherry and William Gordon, who went into umpiring. So the guys that are like y'all are really setting that standard for some of the younger persons. Even though you yourselves are young, like y'all are really kind of setting down these stones for other young persons that are going to come up to even want to aspire and get into commentary and umpiring or what's not, because there is a fallback. You can get into sports even though you may not have been successful in that sport. So that's really inspiring. But I just want to take you back to the playing aspect, because I mean, myself and yourself, we would have had our last game for Harrison College at BCC, and I mean, I'll have to say thank you to you, because I mean, it was actually a really memorable game, because we did end up winning the game and beat them in the end. But when we were on that last day and I only had a little bit to really and truly win, and all the wickets were coming down, and you came in with me, I only really asked you to just stand up and bat. So I mean, for you to do that, I really do have to say thank you for that, and it was actually a really memorable game. But for persons that may not really be that known, Nikhil was a wicketkeeper and as well a wicket-keeping batsman per se. He wasn't too bad behind his stumps, everybody has their faults and what's not, but he was pretty good for the most part. He did some good jobs for us in 19 cricket. I mean, there had some times when Nikhil was even younger, in like fourth and fifth form, that he would just be skipping left and right from Corey's drills, and I mean, that even might have set the bar and to keep him going, you know, that focus, right? So, I mean, that's really, really good. And like, even on the Wanderers tour, like, it was good to have Nikhil just in the back of the bus, you know, playing the tunes and what's not. So, I think all that was really good. But even for that tour, like, how did you find that tour would have helped you even in what you're doing now, really?
Yeah, I think, in terms of cricket on a whole, sports, I think, it really teaches you the discipline that you need in life, not only, for commentary position or anything, it's for life. Because as you said, Corey Edwards, who's the Harrison College coach and was my year coach at Harrison College, those drills and those stuff, I would say he's one of the main people that molded my future forward. Because yes, at points during my stint at Harrison College, I would say, I didn't enjoy going to practice because of how hard it was. But when you look back on it, those things that he would make you do, that attitude of never say die, that attitude of always wanting to, work hard. And sometimes it was really hard. It was difficult because when you come from primary school, you're not at that fitness level, you're not at that maturity level, but it makes you adapt very quickly. So I think guys like Corey Edwards really helped me and I'm sure helped you as well, become a better man in terms of maturity. And for the Wanderers tour, I think it was great to see going for Wanderers to England at such a young age. I think it was great to see how, just a bit of how it is to travel around the world, because we know the West Indies, Australia, India, they travel throughout the year, and professional cricketers on a whole travel to other countries. You have to adapt to conditions quickly, and I thought that was a real eye-opener for me because, it was cold. We know it was cold, and some games were very different in terms of conditions, and that's not what we're used to here. We're used to sun and, hard, flat pitches, and over there, you got a lot of movement through the air because those conditions are really fast, bowling friendly. So I think it was really a great eye-opener, and I think all clubs, of course, if you're financially able to, should try to make an effort to expose their players to, other countries in the world, because I think it will do a lot for the cricketers in terms of when they become professional cricketers later on in their life.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah, sir really did do a lot, and I mean, even though I'm continuing playing cricket for Wanderers, yeah, you can see the fitness level that you do go over into the club level, and that fitness is needed really and truly, and that focus and that will. Because even in my first season, I mean, I did go through a bit of stuff really and truly with like a bunch of like fitness and stuff like that, but like the focus really and the mental ability to just go forward and keep pushing really and truly helped me, and that, I do have to say thank you to him as well. But speaking about traveling, and you can see in the background with the Barbados Tridents, you did have an experience to travel across the Caribbean with them, and just you even were in the finals, at the finals, where you were able to witness that really, really exciting match. So what was that experience really and truly like, to really go from country to country, recording different fans, meeting different people, etc., etc.?
I think the opportunity was great. Let me just say, I'm very grateful to the Tridents owners for giving me that opportunity. I started out, just trying to see how I can add value to the Barbados Tridents, and I felt I just grew into that role of who I am now, which is their public relations officer. But I also run the social media accounts for them, and it was really a great experience, to see that sort of cricket. And for me, it's crazy because I grew up, as you said at the top of the show, I grew up as a real super fan of cricket, and I would watch these guys on TV. Some of the bats, I don't know if you would remember, but I used to carry my old bats to Keston Oval during the regional cricket and get them signed by all these players. And when you're, rubbing hands and talking to all of these cricketers, you're shaking hands with them, and you're building relationships with them. It's a crazy thing when I look back on, my life, because I would have never thought one day I would come to, this, where I'm able to actually interact with these cricketers and do a job for them. So I think I have to be really grateful for the Tridents and the opportunity that they've given such a young man like me. And I've tried my best not to let them down and do what I'm supposed to. It was really a great experience last year, because that season for me had in so much adversity, and it just showed how all the guys stuck together and things just came together at the right time. Because Coming back to Barbados, we lost our first 2 games, and then everybody was really, there was a lot of talk going around about but if the Tridents are good enough this year, the team that was picked, and etc. etc. And I think the discipline and desire and strength that team showed last year is one of the main reasons why we were champions, because going up against undefeated Guyana team, it was never going to be easy to beat them. And I think that final, the atmosphere, everything was crazy how the game went. And as y'all could see on TV, we were really into it. So it was just a great experience, the tournament on a whole. And I'm really looking forward to working for the Tridents, for several years to come.
Yeah, I mean, that really looked like you had some fun in that final, and you really were running onto the field with them as well, and you did end up holding the trophy yourself when they did come back here. And I mean, that must have been a real experience, really and truly. But just moving away from sports a bit, I want to know a bit more about your DJing, because I know you do love music per se, and like you've been playing it through, as I said, even on the Wanderers tour with us. But where did that side of you come from then, really and truly?
I would say, growing up around my friend and my dad's friends, they would always carry around their iPads and stuff, iPhones, and do a little. They have these apps with DJing, so they would play some music for our parties and stuff. And I just love to hear the transition of the songs. I'm one person that you can ask many people that know me well. They always say change the song. I would change the song too fast because I don't like to hear the entire song. I like when it's mixed with other songs, and I don't know. I think I just got into it over the years. Interested in mixing music and syncing beats and syncing rhythms. And I wouldn't say that I'm a radio DJ quality or anything, but I think it's something I enjoy, and I'm able to do it for some of my friends. When they have their parties, and I've done it over the years, and as you said, at your graduation as well. So I think it's a good way for me to get away sometimes from school and as well as work, and it's something that I enjoy. So I think I'm gonna keep it up, as far as it can take me.
Fair enough. So really and truly, you want to be a part-time DJ, commentator, analyst. Any other things that you want to add, that you are looking to really add to your entire collection, really and truly, that you want to do in life?
Well, I think, honestly, I just want to be the best version of myself, Christian. I think if I can be, someone who is able to provide for family as well as make my parents happy and make everyone around me happy, that's the most important thing to me. Yes, the DJing is on the side. I wouldn't say a part-time DJ. I think I'll continue to, work on my skills and stuff. But my main goal is, to do it was really to do, commentate international cricket around the world. And I'm sure that if I keep working hard, I will get there one day. I'm not going to say it's only cricket, because you never know the opportunities that come up. And that's why I'm trying to, diversify myself. I'm really interested in basketball, tennis, now getting really interested in the NFL as well. So it's all about, I think, broadening what you know. And I'm just trying to, expand. Like, how can I not mention football and athletics? I commentate both of them here locally. So it's really about the opportunity, and whenever it comes, and I'm just going to make sure that I put myself in position to be ready for whenever that opportunity does.
Yeah, you did mention football there for a second. I know you bought a shaky side in Arsenal, right? So I mean, I won't really get into that too much because I know that they're a bit below us right now. They do support my energy at the moment, but that's the conversation and discussion for another time. But you have now moved away from Harrison College, and you're now at Queen's College, and you did go back to sort of play a bit with Queen's College in their under 19, but it wasn't really like you really were focused on it, and you did a lot of the after match interviews and stuff like that. So but what is the change that you're really feeling come from Harrison College compared to Queen's College environment? Are you like settling in much better? Is it still a good environment?
Yeah, I think for me, it is a lot to do with the environment, but it's a lot also to do with the person. And I think I'm a social person, so I'm able to fit into many environments. And it's good to communicate with different people. One of the main changes I would say is that I'm now bowling, so something that Coach Corey at Harrison College didn't let me do, and it seemed to pay off because I took 8 wickets and 19 this year, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, it's great. Of course, people were already surprised when I made that move to switched schools for 2 years, but Queen's College has been great. You know, I have to obviously give it to Harrison College because that's where I came up, but Queen's College has been, you know, a school which is able to mold my character a bit and me able to focus on schoolwork as well as the cricket and my work as well. And they've been, you know, really on board in terms of what my goals are. So I have to thank them and, you know, everybody who's just put themselves in position to help me.
For just talking about you being as a host, you know, have Nick Toff and your recent show that you have on Instagram. What are the end goals for that? Are you looking to really push and really get even more and more guests, I guess? Because right now you've had Zane Maloney, you've had Kemar Roach, you've had what's his name now? I can't remember now. Jeez, that plays for Barbados that made Kevin Stout, right? Yeah, you have Kevin Stout, and I've watched majority of them so far, and they have been interesting. So what are you gonna develop this into a full-on show, or is this going to be you know, is this gonna be just on social media now that we're in lockdown per se?
Yeah, I think this COVID-19 virus, of course, is really unfortunate for so many around the world, Christian, but it's really opened my eyes, and you know, the world is gonna change regardless of if you like it or not after this you know, virus and after it's over, this pandemic is over. So I think I like sports talk because when I conceptualized the idea, the first thought that came into my mind was, you know, I want to elevate the youth in Barbados, guys that you know, playing the sports all around Barbados that are doing a really good job and you know, need some more exposure. So I've been trying to balance that with, as well as bringing in some more experienced guys like Hakeem Roach and Kevin Stout to mentor the youth as well. So I think it could be, you know, something full time that I do. I haven't thought fully about it yet. But when I go to Canada and stuff, I would want to sustain it. And Nick Toff, as I have on the shirt now, I only got to get in one episode before the pandemic, you know, already struck cricket and stopped all forms of cricket. But it's just a way for me to, you know, broadcast and put out my skills, put out my, you know, material, because I think I, you know, can give some analysis on the game. And it's just a way for me to, you know, discuss cricket, and that's solely on cricket. So it allows me to focus on cricket and, you know, put out content.
Well, I mean, that's just those are all the portions that are included in Nikhil's story. I mean, I'm sure that he will go on to be an international commentator, analyst, host, and what's not, because I do believe that he does have the potential to do it. So I do want to say thank you for joining me today, Nikhil. I wish you all the best as well. I will keep in touch with you as much as I possibly can. I do also myself want to travel overseas and develop my art as well. So just once again, and if anything, what advice would you give to persons like yourself and younger who are going through they're unsure about their future and whatever, but especially now that they're going through COVID-19?
First of all, before I answer that question, I would say, you know, you're someone that's, you know, been really reliable, and I think you have a lot of talent in this industry, because for those of you that don't know, you know, Christian is always somebody who sometimes even works for free to come and, you know, record something at cricket for me, or, you know, come and stream something, and his employers will be able to tell you, you know, better imagery, that he's such a hardworking young man. And I mean, when I heard Christian was coming on board, because I knew him and stuff, like, it was really great to, you know, have him there. But Christian, I believe, you know, you will go very far, because you're very versatile, able to do stuff like this in a podcast, as well as stay behind the camera. And I mean, I don't know how you do it, because it takes a special talent to stand behind the camera and, you know, record something for a whole day, which you've done. So I also think, you know, you have what's in you. You just have to continue working, and I think we can both go forward together. But the advice I'll give to young people out there who may not be so sure, I would say this is the ideal time, COVID-19, because it's really time to be productive. If you're out there, you're watching this, you know, get off your bed, go outside, go and try things that you've always wanted to do. Be productive during this time, plan every day. And I think now is the perfect time to, you know, try something that you may have always wanted to try, or something that it may have just run through your mind in the past, but you've never actually got the chance to, because so many people have so many talents out there, but they just never know, and they never have a time to try it. So I would say be productive in this time, guys, and, you know, reach for the stars, because really nothing is impossible. And the people have tried to make me believe that, and I believed it more and more over the years with the way my journey has, shaped. Because things may not always work out for you at first, but over time, the law of the environment, the law of the world is if you work hard, you will achieve. So just keep working hard towards your goals. And if you don't know, try. Put out content. Don't be afraid of what anybody thinks. Use it as motivation. Use it as advice. Put out content. Try things, and I think everyone will find their hidden talent at some point.
Well, yes, once again, Nikhil, I do want to say thank you for joining me today, and thank you guys for watching. Do tune into some of Nikhil's Instagram lives. He does have some really interesting stuff. Some of the guests do say some interesting and advising stuff as well. He does ask some grueling questions at times, and although he does do this, he's a very, very good friend of mine, and I could say that he will probably get far in what he's doing. Hit the subscribe down below. Follow Nikhil as well. I will link him in the description down below, and I'll see you guys for another video.